Thank you, Ramona. Thank you very, very much. Our next speaker is Stephen Wiles, and he's a lifelong member of Gospel Light Baptist Church. He's the president of Conservatives for Forsyth County and a former candidate for the Forsyth County Board of Commissioners. After seeing the immense need for work in the name of religious freedom and other conservative causes, he suspended his campaign and began to work with various groups and organizations in an effort to follow God's guidance in returning America to its original foundation of Judeo-Christian morality. Stephen is also an evangelist traveling the area speaking of the goodness of God's grace and through Jesus Christ. Let's welcome up Stephen Wiles.
How are y'all doing today? It's good to see so many people here. I heard one time a very wise man said, it's better to remain quiet and be thought a fool than to speak up and remove all doubt. So my comments will be fairly short today. But I do want to thank you all for coming out. It's a beautiful day, but it's a little bit warm, and I guess you could have stayed home and in the air conditioning. But we do have some problems. We have some real problems in America. America has gotten itself in a real mess. We've helped it out along the way. We voted kind of poorly in some situations. We've not fought where we should have, and we've taken up some fights that were not worth fighting for when there were some fights out there that really needed to be fought. And we have ourselves to blame for some of it. And some of it, people said they were going to do some things that they didn't. I believe that this is a fight that we need to be fighting. We need to continue to fight. And I think that you all agree with me on that. I wanted to say just a few words. Like I said, I really am. I wasn't just trying to be a smart aleck. I am going to be fairly short-winded today, but I did read where it said speech, and a speech is supposed to be pretty long, so I guess I'm going to, they want me to preach a while, so I might stay up here for a while. But in Jeremiah 10:23, it says, "O Lord, I know that the way of man is not in himself. It is not in man that walketh to direct his steps." And in James, it says, "If any man lacketh wisdom, let him ask of God, who giveth to all men liberally, and he'll give it unto him." That's saying that we need this book. We need to get back to this book. We don't have it in ourselves, you see. We don't have it in ourselves. We can't do it by ourselves. And I'm going to say something now that maybe some people, you might at first think that you don't agree with it, but hear me out. The Constitution and the First Amendment especially was never designed to give us our freedom of religion. It was never designed to give us our freedom of speech. The Second Amendment was not designed to give us our freedom to protect ourselves by bearing arms. If you read back, it says that those freedoms were given by our Creator. And that this document just let us know that our government would always be held responsible to our Creator. And our Creator is none other than God and Jesus Christ. And we have a country and leadership now who are trying to take away the existence of that Creator. And if we don't have a Creator, then we don't have the right to worship a Creator. Why would we? I can say that I'm going to worship that tree, and you would say, well, all right, that's your right. But if I say, I'm going to worship this tree right here, you would say, that's not a tree. You're crazy. You'd have me locked up. So when you deny the existence of a Creator, then I don't have the right to worship a Creator. God is the only way out of this thing. And I also want to say that aside from just this mandate being unconstitutional and the rights of our religious rights that are given by God. And by the way, that can't be taken away. And it doesn't matter what our administration, and I'm sure there's some fine elected officials who are Christians. I know that there are, I've met them. But it doesn't matter what they think. The Bible, which is the only true book that you'll ever read, that's true all the way through, and it doesn't matter how many times you read it, you'll always find something else in it that is going to touch you in a different way. It says that every knee will bow. And that means even the ones that don't believe it's true. So don't ever lose hope that Jesus Christ and God will prevail in the end. And America may not stand. As a matter of fact, at the end times, America won't be here. Germany won't be here. None of them will. But Jesus Christ always will. And if you know Jesus Christ, then you'll be here with him to reign. But the important thing that we need to know is that as long as we are standing for what's true, like you've done today, and are out here doing everything that you can prayerfully, then you're doing the right thing. And it won't always be popular, but we're not supposed to be popular. I don't like being different, but I'm supposed to be different. And I don't like saying things that sometimes are perceived as being hateful, but sometimes I have to. And sometimes I have to say things that people don't like. I heard somebody say one time why it's no fun to be a conservative. And they said it's not fun to tell people they need to get a job. And it's not fun to tell people that they have to work for a living. And it's not fun to tell people that there's no free rides. And that's true, it's not. But this country can't afford this mandate. We can't afford it. Sometimes you have to use a little bit of what God gave you. You know, you have to use a little bit of common sense. We're already in the hole here, and we can't afford to pay for all this. And if we can't afford to pay for it, then what are we going to do? What are we going to do about it? What are we going to do with it? But I did want to thank you all for being here. I want to thank you for standing. I want to ask you to keep standing. And by the grace of God, I do believe that we'll all prevail. Thank you so much. And thank you for Patty, too. I appreciate you.